If you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, everybody. So many business owners dream of scaling, making more revenue, making more impact, and even creating a movement in the greater world. And yet, I will tell you, as a business mentor who helps people on that pathway, no two business owners dream of scaling in the same way. But there are 3 steps everybody needs, regardless of that capacity and vision of what scaling means for you. And that's what we're going to tackle today on Amplify Your Marketing Message. I want to talk about the leap from solopreneur to business owner and CEO, and what you need to equip yourself to see a successful transition. Because I want you to know, just truthfully, what gets you to the first level of success is not enough of adding simply more of that in order to reach the next level. Leveling up, which we've talked about here on this podcast, is a period of transition. It requires different skills, different mindsets, and it is a bumpy ride because you are stepping outside your comfort zone. And scaling is something that is a very personal business decision. I remember many years ago, I was invited to come and speak at a networking event that was taking place halfway around the world in South Africa. And I was brought in to talk about what will it take to grow a thriving business, because that is what I do. I help business owners create their client growth engine. And when I asked around the room, what is your business vision to start with? If I said scale to the next level, I had so many different answers. For some, that meant a team. For some, that meant never in a million years do I want a team. For some, meant that was making a big wave in a small pond. And for others, it meant global business growth. I want you to sit and think in today's episode, what does scaling successfully look like for you? For myself and for my clients, they want growth without giving their soul in exchange. They want growth without working 24/7. And they want growth with not lots of shoulds along the way, but heck yes, full embodied. I want to play that way. I want to serve with those people. And I want to say yes to these kinds of opportunities. And so when they get to that place, I always say, let's talk about how you get there. Because as a business mentor, which is what I do in my business, I tell people really clearly, the candle or the flame must be lit by you. You have to have that vision of what scaling means. You have to be able to sit with it and say, it is a non-negotiable for me, because it is not my job as your mentor to light your fire. My job as your mentor and here on this podcast is to show you how to add fuel so you can amplify the vision, so you can expand your reach, so you can have more of the life you want in the business you are choosing to create through your daily actions. So let's talk about that leap from solopreneur to business owner and CEO. There are 3 things everybody needs. And you know, you're a fan, business is simple. So I keep things simple, but there are three key pivot points that fuel the next level of expansion, regardless of whether you're at the 6 figures or you're at $500,000 or you're at the first million, or now you're saying, let's get many millions on the board. You're going to do it in a way that stays with your value system. And the first is that to recognize you cannot get there by yourself. I'm going to say this again for everybody in the back, because this is the one that leads to the most flathead syndrome I see around the business world. You know, this one's like, oh my Lord, You mean I have to find help? Yes, my friends, you need to find help. You need increased support to scale, regardless of what scale capacity that looks like for you. And so, scale and support go hand in hand. You cannot have one long term and sustainable, repeatable without the other. So just stop trying. That's why you've got this flat head syndrome happening, because truthfully, you're in your own way. Let's get you out of it, get you on the path to scaling successfully. Typically, there are three types of things we look at for businesses who are looking for more impact. The first is we got to look at team. That can be a personal choice of hiring within, contracting, collaborating, doing all kinds of things, but recognizing that while you need to have an understanding of all the business functions, you are not equipped typically to be successful at all the functions equally. So get somebody who can be a strength where you are not a strength. And so team is the first component to this. And for many, that might mean from solopreneur to business owner, contractors, people you outsource. And eventually it means I want stability and certainty, and it means hiring people. And so that's a big part of what I do and guide my clients around is how do we ensure we have the right team to deliver a high standard while we're scaling, because our reputation is the most important thing that will dictate a success rate. And what is our next hire? Because you're only able to serve as you have capacity to do so. And so that falls into your business model and the decisions you make around it. But team is the first component of support you will need. And the simple question you should be asking yourself is, what am I really good at? And what am I really honestly not at? Because I would say you cannot abdicate responsibility ever as the business CEO and owner, but you can delegate the expertise. And your job is to ask good questions, to facilitate, and to support it as the foundation that underpins success. The second piece of this is infrastructure, systems. You have to have a backbone, because when you are scaling, what you're essentially choosing as a decision is I want to have more people experience the results we stand for. And systems and infrastructure are the way to ensure that that standard you set as the integrity and values of who are we and what do we do is consistent. And so one of the big things that we often look at in that leap into more than me is, what systems have you got today? That can be as down and dirty as basic Google documents to what might you need from a CRM perspective? What might you need from I do my own books to an accountant and a tax planner? We look at the infrastructure of your website, the automations, the emails, all of the back end pieces, the onboarding, the departures of clients. How do we manage that? How do we manage invoicing? And really, what's the most important thing you're doing is to spend some time before you make the leap going, what does it look like to actually run a business at that size? And ask people who have businesses at that size. What are the essential supports, infrastructures, and systems that I need so that I can start building my confidence and making good decisions that will get me there to the next level? Because you have to plan for this to have a great experience and result and not completely derail your business. So team is number one, systems and infrastructure is number two. The third thing is support. Truthfully, you don't know what you don't know because you haven't been where you want to go. Sounds really simple, right? And really obvious. And yet I watch people all the time overstep the importance of having mentors to guide you at a level you want to aspire to. Except for my clients who already know the reason they work with me is because I have built businesses that are at the six figure. I have helped and supported clients who are at their seven figures and even at their eight. And so I know what it's like, the decisions, the speed, and the risks that are inherent. And I'm a thinking partner, a sounding board, and I can help them navigate that. But mentors are key to help you raise your expectation. And I know one of the easiest ways to start to get into circles of great mentors is through communities, master classes, events, because they start to realize that I'm in the slow lane and that there is more out there. And if you want to get there quickly, Working with somebody who's been there before is honestly the fastest accelerator you've got. But without a doubt, increased support is what you need as a non-negotiable to move from here to there on your next level of success. The second key component of this is you have to expand your vision, expand your capacity, expand your belief, because you're not playing on the same field in your next level of growth. And so you want to be thinking about what is a short-term need, what is a midterm need, and what is a long-term need, and prioritizing building around that foundational piece. And that's why when I'm working with clients, we talk about the 3 non-negotiables, regardless of level of scaling. Who's your buyer? Your next buyer. How are we going to predictably move them from curiosity to paid client at this next level of speed? What is valued in this season of growth for the clients we want to serve today, and most importantly, the clients of tomorrow, so we can own that value in the marketplace, so we can lead at that level in the marketplace, and we can expand our vision, which means we recognize us as a work in progress. And messy action is going to trump perfect action taken someday. So start expanding your belief, because as the business owner, you decide what's non-negotiable. You decide the integrity of your team. You decide the vision that we hold the standard to. And that doesn't mean we're perfect. It means we're works in progress. And when you have mentors, infrastructure, and team behind you, you start to know and have certainty around the third pillar. The third thing you need is the capability and confidence to make decisions quickly. Decisions like speed. You've probably heard that comment before because it's true. And I think honestly, the biggest long-term result my clients have after working with me is that they're capable of making good, critical decisions under enormous quick timelines and pressure, because uncertainty will go with you to the next level of success. What is certain is your ability to keep making decisions. And decisions come in 2 different ways as you're scaling. The first is instinct and gut, and do not undervalue that, because you're going someplace you've never been, and honestly, you've got to trust your internal guidance and your value system to say, is this right for me? And it should be a heck body yes, or listen because it's not. And choose your decisions accordingly. But gut and instinct are a big part of this game, especially when you're stretching to the next level. The second thing that is equally important as you are scaling and others are depending on you to bankroll them through payroll, through the bills you pay every month on your infrastructure and support, and for your mentors, which should be a non-negotiable, not a variable expense, but a non-negotiable fixed expense, is you got to have comfort with data. Data-driven decisions help you move quickly. And you get comfort with data because what you measure matters. Your ability to look at the facts, interpret the facts, and take execution on the facts is the level of leadership you grow to. And you may have heard this from episodes previously about leadership here on this podcast, but you have to evolve to all 3. If you want to step from solopreneur to this business owner and CEO, you can't just gather the facts. You cannot just say, I know what the facts tell me. It's you. The buck stops with you. Take the decision, trust your gut, and say, we're moving. This is the forward action we're taking. Imperfect information? Yes. Uncertainty on the table? Yes. Does it mean we hide from the decision? No. We make the decision with the facts we have today, the instincts we have that are trusting us to build a new future that is not yet here, and we say lived experience will help us make the next decision better. Did you hear what I just said? Lived experience. You've got to get off the line. Because if you're sitting here listening to amplify your marketing message and you have been thinking, I am playing small. I know there are more people we want to serve. There's a bigger movement we want to create with our business. And we want to create, yes, more profit to give back to our employees, to ourselves, to the communities, and to the purpose things that we support. It's going to require you to step in full body to increased support, to expanded vision, and to decision-making responsibility. Because we as business owners, at every level of business, we are leaders who are cultivating the leaders of tomorrow. It is a choiceful responsibility. It is an awesome responsibility. And it does, without a doubt, need to be said that what got you to this level of success will not get you to the next. And yet there is a next. And hope that you know that through expansion, through listening, through collaborating, through putting yourself past your comfort zone, that you are capable of awesome impact. My clients and the people that are here in the audience, people just like you, we are visionaries. We are empire builders. We want to impact and create big ripples because we are catalysts who know that our job, non-negotiably, is to light it up. Here's how you do it. I want to recap so that you are really crystal clear how you scale successfully without giving your soul, without working 24/7, without going crazy and suffering from flat head syndrome. You need to look at your support levels. Team, infrastructure, systems, and the support of a mentor, and maybe more than one. Because it is not just the tactics. You have to have a clear strategy. You have to have an expanding vision of capacity and personal belief. And you have to recognize that the decision-making muscle is one you must cultivate because decisions like speed. And your ability to navigate the landscape that is uncertain by its very nature, the world of business, means you trust your gut, you run data-driven, and you keep in motion. Because if you know anything about me, and you've been listening to this podcast, we have a couple fundamental principles at Clear Acceleration Inc., which is the company I am the CEO of and founder of. We got to focus on the movement. We've got to be clear that we must ignite our own engine and make the non-negotiables clear. We've got to get into the actions so that people can find us, because together we truly are the catalysts for tomorrow's leaders. I want you to take the leap. I want you to take the leap and move your business in 2024. If you are struggling to think by yourself, here's the hint you needed. This is the sign. Stop trying to do it by yourself. Come have a conversation with us at Clear Acceleration Inc. Come talk to us about the vision you have, the scale that makes sense for you personally, and we'll put together a support plan that helps you get the support you need, expand your vision on the way, learn to make those decisions so that you can see what a business empire that serves the world. I'll see you there. I look forward to meeting you soon. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.